What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, where we are continuing our build restoration project of the 1988 Jeep Comanche. So here is my engine bay. Today we're going to be focusing on the thermostat here, and I've never done one. I've watched a few YouTube videos, and but we're just going to go at it. I've already started to undo some things. So there's a couple of hoses here, and there's a bolt here, and supposedly there's another bolt somewhere else. I think I see it. It's kind of underneath this pulley here. But anyways, this is the kit that I bought. I said, you know what? I'm going to be replacing it, so I got a new housing, the new gasket. I got some silicone that one of my mechanic co-workers told me to use. And then I also have a new thermostat itself. This is all from Rock Auto. Motor Rad is what I'm using here. The reason why I'm replacing the housing mainly is because if I show you a little close, if you look a little closer here, it looks like someone has already replaced or somewhat recent has removed the housing before, and it looks like it's been leaking because there's some signs of some leakage there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be removing it anyways. Let's just replace everything. It's not like it's breaking the bank or anything. So yeah, I'm going to continue on removing these two hoses and removing the two bolts. It's a 1/2-inch bolt, and I'm just using a ratchet, and then we'll see what we got from there. Okay, so don't do what I did. When I removed this, obviously a bunch of the coolant was started leaking through. So I did have my bucket under there. However, it wasn't big enough, and it was also leaking onto my skid plate. And the skid plate was catching the water first and then spilling over on both sides. So I have a little bit of a mess down there. But anyways, it appears that I got this removed here. So I got it removed, and there was only one bolt holding it, where I know that there's two. So this whole time I was trying to find it underneath there, and it's right in the way of the belt. Here, let me see if I can show you. So this bolt is obviously on this top one here, and right underneath, if I show it to you, there's another bolt hole, but there was no bolt, which part of me can understand why, because it's such a pain in the rear to get to in the first place. You almost have to completely remove the belt in order to get to that secondary bolt, and possibly even the fan as well. But anyways, I ended up just removing the entire first bolt, and everything came out. The entire thing came off. So that's where we're in a predicament, because now I need to get another bolt, which I probably don't have one of these here at my house, and I'll have to get one tomorrow. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and remove the two hoses here that's connected to it, and then get it prepped and ready to go with the new housing and gasket and thermostat. It looks like they used quite a bit of silicone. It was even kind of blocking this opening here. Yeah, this thing is definitely in need of a replacement. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off the old silicone and clean up that entire housing thing there, and take out the old thermostat. So you can definitely tell that this was not original, because I know the original is actually 195, whereas this is 160. So this was definitely already changed out before, which is, well, I guess that was pretty obvious when you saw that there was only one bolt holding it in. All right, I think I'm kind of screwed here. That's obviously the top bolt. That is where the other bolt's supposed to be. And it's broken off inside the frickin' block. So the old one was only held in by one, and they just put a bunch of frickin' silicone around that bottom one. All right, well, I have the old thermostat housing and everything off. I am going to have to wait in order for someone who knows a little bit more of what they're doing, probably get a welder to remove that bolt that's stuck in there, which sucks. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what happens. Is it just skipping in there?
Yeah. What I want is to break loose a little bit. If I break loose a little bit,
then you can just like break all the pieces out in there.
Yeah.
We have drilled out most of the broken bolt, but we weren't dead on center. We weren't able to get it center, so we're trying to tap it. There's still some remaining bolt in there that we can't get out, so we're trying to slowly thread it and then break out the rest of the bolt.
It's your video.
All right. It took about a week of work, but we finally... Woohoo! I am pumped. Adding some silicone to make a seal. New thermostat. And I'll also be changing out the water pump as well.
You want some mascara?
I'm gonna pass.
All right, guys, well, that is it. We finally got the new thermostat in with the new housing, and we have 2 bolts. Woohoo! Finally have 2 bolts, which this girl probably hasn't had 2 bolts in there for who knows how many years. And shout out to my coworker, and pretty much I'm his apprentice, Francisco, and for helping me, because this really kicked both our butts, to be honest with you. So we got that out. Now I can finally move on with replacing the radiator and updating my cooling system, replacing the water pump, and putting this puppy back together, and then moving on to different projects. Woohoo! All right, guys. See you guys in the next one.